Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. Last time I forgot to turn off my swatch. So it's just been kind of sitting there. But, yes. I did finish most of the stuff. And I just did not have quite enough time to get some of the final bits of, like, the hair in the background here, mostly. Because freaking hair, man. I can never escape it. There's just always so much hair. But yes, it was hair and lighting, and the lighting in particular, I really want to take my time on. So I figured I would just finish it this time, but I thought everything else was looking pretty good. And then I got this flippy thing. I don't quite like where it is here, so I'm actually going to move it around. What layer did I put the weird flippy thing on anyway? Just right there. Okay. Unfortunately, it's kind of overlapping this guy. I don't know. I'd like you there. I kind of don't, so I'll probably just end up having to redraw this thingy. No, that's not really a problem. Where should I put it instead? I think last time I said that the other one was probably behind her. I might let it flap a little bit over here or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking about where I want to put this. There's something about it feels a little bit off to me. I don't want it to cover that much as the castle is the thing, so maybe I should just grab this and, you know, once my mouse stops freaking out, there we go, I can, like, move it over here so that this way it doesn't cover up the castle. And then I think I'll be happy. Yeah, seems good. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just duplicate this, and I'm gonna plop the other one just over here somewhere. I'm gonna have to move the little antenna thinger with the gem, but this is a good start, and it's easier than trying to draw like the whole thing from scratch again. It's fine. I don't know. I just... vertical... Maybe I don't. Maybe I can just not draw the thing again. That would be pretty nice. It's a small thing, so less effort is actually pretty nice on those. Okay. Yeah, I think there looks pretty okay. I'll go merge that and get rid of the excess. Where does that skirt end anyway? We're gonna have to cut off her head briefly, just so I can see where I need to erase here. It's okay, only briefly. Okay, so yeah, it's all good. Just like that. Okay. And then there's like some stray pixels or something out there. I'm not sure if it's a hole or... Okay, it's probably some stray pixels from the dress. Dress inner, dress bottom. Here we are. Just a spot I missed while I was cleaning and didn't notice because the background is awesome. Okay. So I think that looks a little better. I'll go ahead and redraw the other little thing here. And by that, I mean I'm going to clean up this one and duplicate it because I could be a little bit lazy on these tiny details. But the good news is that I think all the small details on their chest area are looking great. So I think I got all that right, and I'm just double checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm kind of glad that I don't need to draw the inside of that. It's like I could. But, you know, I'm kind of glad that I can just keep these background things a little bit simpler. So all that is good. I think I got the tiara the way I want it. Yeah, I don't see any further details that I'm missing. Nice. Okay. Let's make this look a little nicer, and then I can just duplicate it, and I will get right into the rest of her hair. The thing that I have been somewhat procrastinating on since the very beginning. I guess calling it procrastination is wrong. I normally do the back hair pretty close to the end. It's either like right at the beginning or right at the end, depending on the length of hair and my mood, I guess. But when there's just a lot of hair, the hair is very long, as is the case here, I do tend to do it near the end, just so I know what stuff is on top of it. You know, same general policy I have for, like, everything I do, and I just realized I forgot to turn off a filter layer. There we go. No wonder my colors felt a little weird. There we go. All is well. And don't worry, you can bet that I'll be getting rid of this horrible tangent with the hair once it's time to draw the hair. It is just not yet time. But soon. I'm still gonna have to be patient on the castle once I finish her, and I think I will almost certainly finish her today, even if I am super slow and lethargic. I'm feeling a bit slow and lethargic today. It happens. I had a hard time getting started on my Inktober drawing. I did finish it though, so I'll be uploading that after stream. That'll probably be my standard Inktober upload time for the time being. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then I guess you're just gonna, like, hang out over here. I'll even rotate you a little just to add a little bit of variation here. Looks good to me. Okay, let's draw the rest of that. There we go. Okay, perfect. And I think that's all I'm gonna do there. They are that close together, right? Or are they a little further apart? I think they're a little further apart. Okay. Whoop. Okay. There we go for real. Okay. So I think that about does it for that, so let's get into the rest of her hair. Might have to move some stuff around in my swatch, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and do that. I just want to uncover all the hair, and I want to keep the swatch up, so... But now that a bunch of her is done... I can kind of move some stuff out of the way, and it'll be great. I'll just go bring this all the way over here. I still want to keep my colors, but I don't need quite the same easy access to them that I did before. So I'll just move them around, and I get the feeling that once I start working on the background, I will probably move them all again. That's kind of the beauty of the swatch layer. I don't remember which color is which at the moment, but it's all good. I'll keep the hair over here, just because I am indeed working on the hair, so I do want easy access to that. Okay, now where was I? Is that a hole? Oh no, that's fine. Okay. So I'm just thinking about how I want this hair to flutter. Right now, I think it is somewhat insufficient. The big thing is that I still want to keep the general, like, distinct silhouette shape of her hair. It's very important, these little flippy things. So I see that she has a third flippy thing going down in the back there, but that's fine. That's mostly covered up here. So I do want to keep these. Those are important. Just like I kind of kept her bangs roughly the same shape and just fluttered some other stuff around to make it more interesting. I want to keep those parts. But I'm not quite satisfied with how it's flipping around. I'm actually even considering just deleting everything here and going at it again. Let's do it. Delete. Worth. So now, I can just kind of actually start constructing some of this. Ooh. So the important thing is that the power from this magic circle, I've never actually explicitly described what I'm seeing in my head, but I'm picturing it going outward, like this. So, like that. So what I wanted to do is blow the hair in both directions. So the stuff on this side will be like flopping way off over here and doing things like that, and this side will be going like way out over there. And obviously that's not right, but that's what's going on in my head. So let's see. How do I want these neat swirly things to be flopping around? I think I can probably do something like this. So I'll just start gradually kind of constructing it. That might be a little long, but I'll move it around once I'm kind of happy with the shape. For the record, I actually haven't been very happy with the back hair for a long time here. I just knew that I'd be working on it later, so I haven't really been worried about it. So here we go. I think this is a little bit too exaggerated, but this is the kind of thing that I think will make it work. So let's get it more the size of hers here, and then I will move it to a more appropriate location. And since I'm reconstructing it, I'm going to be messy. Very messy. I don't want to waste a lot of time cleaning things up when things are going to be changing. Because let me tell you, many a thing is going to be changing here. Okay. Let's move this over here. And I'll put in some loose strands kind of flying around. There we go. And I'm just adding a little bit more body in a few places, and naturally I want to get this lower one too, but I'm not quite sure where to put it. Because I don't really want to put it there, because that covers up too much of the castle. So, I don't know. Do I just make that one the higher one, and then put another one down here? I guess I could. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I think that actually looks pretty alright. So that one should be fine. And then over here, I can kind of get the other swirly bit kind of going up here. And then I don't have to worry. There's like this strand kind of connecting here. That's actually this guy. So I don't really have to worry about some of the extra hair over there, but I will add a few more loose strands just blowing around. It makes things look nice. Should make everything very... I don't know. It should just make the hair look fluffier and more interesting. So that's the hope here. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this strand, but I'm trying something. I don't think I can use it because I don't want it to cover too much more of the castle here. So that might just be all the hair I put on that side. I do feel like I need a little bit more just right through there, but... So I'll test a few patterns and see what I think here. Okay, I think that looks good. I think that's about all we need, and then we still got the hints of the stuff going on in the background here. Incidentally, this is why I insisted on finishing the character before I did anything more with the background, because I knew that she was going to be taking up so much of the screen. And I'd probably waste a bunch of time just drawing some stuff back there if I did it now. Speaking of, I'm actually going to push her just a little bit to the right here. Not that much. There we go. So there we go. And I think this should still lead for some solid impressions here. I might actually flip the direction of the castle here. I don't know. I will poke around with that when it comes time to kind of finalize the background. But this is where I'm very glad that I'm a digital artist and not a traditional artist. I don't know how traditional artists do it, but they have to be so aware of the composition before they can do anything. And it is wild to me. Because it's like, they have to draw all the background stuff first. Otherwise it doesn't work. And then they start in the background and come forward. Whereas me, I start in the front and go back. So that this way I know exactly where everything can be placed and which things are going to be covering which other things. So, respect for the analog artists here. I think you guys do cool things. But I am just always so glad that I can stay flexible all the way through. One of the many reasons that digital is just my preferred medium. Alright, so I'm gonna smooth out all the stuff that I drew. I'll probably draw a few more just tiny loose strands once it's all done. This will not be getting very much shading. I very, very rarely put that much detail into back hair here like this. But I do want to make sure that everything is curving very, very nicely. And that everything just looks nice and smooth. That I don't have any weird holes hanging around there like I did there, and that everything kind of flows into each other properly. Just all that good stuff. Alright, so... You know, I rendered hair yesterday, and now I'm right back to rendering hair today. At least... This won't be as detailed as the front hair I was working on yesterday, but... Well, here we are, perfecting curves. I want this to be curving around very nicely. And this is indeed covering a bunch of the stuff that I kind of wanted to show here. But I think it looks really good, so I don't really want to redraw it. And I'd have to think about how I would move this strand and stuff, so I really might just flip the castle around. Put this big spire over here and have a different big spire to change the shape of the moon a little bit over there. I don't know. Basically, I'm gonna have a little bit of exploration and discovery to do. Once it comes time to work on that castle that I've been wanting to draw for like a million years now. Soon, brain, soon. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Alright, I think most of this is looking pretty alright already. See, I got just a little bit of weirdness there. But the rest seems pretty alright. What about over here? How's over here doing? Definitely got some weird shapes here. From just how I was controlling the brush and stuff. This all seems fine to me. I think I'll just fill in this gap. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's very interesting, but I think I'm just gonna clear this one. Make that a little thicker just so it doesn't overlap weirdly here. And then I just see some little excess bits here and there. Okay. And I think that's good for that side. Now let's see, do I want to do any further loose strands? This already looks pretty wild to me. But I think I might put a few more in there. I think I'll do that after I shade it, actually. Just because there's really not going to be that much shading. Did I have a color for you? Because this was that... This is the color I'm using here, I think. Oh, it actually isn't. Okay, what color am I using here, then? I probably picked it directly from her. Okay. Do I have it anywhere in my swatch? It looks like I don't. Okay. So I never actually saved the color. That's fine. Okay, so if I picked it directly from her hair, she has, like, that slight gradient going on here. Yeah, I remember looking up at this and just seeing this slight pinkish gradient as it goes down. So that tells me that near the top, I should make it a little bit more orange. And it's going to be the dark color, so probably somewhere around there. I'm not going to do that yet. Do I want to add any shadows to this? That's the question I'm asking myself right now. A lot of the time with my back hair, I actually don't. But I think I will here. I just noticed that I had a weird curve here, so I'm fixing that, but just besides that, I do think that this might look a little bit weird unshaded. If this was my hard shading style, I would probably add a few highlights and call it good. But I don't think that quite makes sense here, so let's pick this color. I'll use the dark one. And I'm gonna start kinda putting in some shadows here. Okay, I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with all that, but I'll figure out something. I'll figure out something here. Let's see, I think the way I have this drawn, I would prefer the shadow to go this way. Let this guy be on top. Yes. Yes, that is much better. Let that flow into this strand here. I think that makes more sense. Okay. And here I'll just make darker. Let all of that just fade into her body there. A lot of that stuff is going to get lit by the moonlight a lot. It should look kind of interesting. I'm really, really excited to be adding the lighting to all this. It's going to make such a huge difference. All right. So I'm kind of trying to define how this is curling. This one... it'd be easier to explain with highlights. I'm picturing it going this way. So, like, the light would probably hit it... well, if this was lit from the top, it'd be about here. From the bottom, it's going to be, like, about there. So I'm just picturing going whoosh. Whereas on this side, I'll do some of this now. Like, for example, this one is curling like this. So this is like a front side, and then this is the other side. So they're a little bit different, and this one is sitting on top of here. So he'll curl like that. And this one, I picture something a little bit similar. This one kind of curves in like this. And so a lot of this part is just going to be in shadow. It's going to be the same over here. Like, pretty much everything up here, I think, actually should be in shadow. Just because it's all lit from the bottom and it's curving toward the moon. So this will make it look a little bit more curly. Go ahead and add a little bit more shadow there. Just from all the stuff around. And I'll be bouncing around a bit, but that's fine. I can do that. It'll all get shaded in the end, and then that's what matters. No one will be left out. Thus declares me. So just gonna put some basic stuff down for now. Let's see, I think I want a little bit of shadow just behind from the dress here. Okay, I think that all looks fine. Okay. And so I think that's good on that side. So I'll add a little bit more strandiness to this side now. Try to get everything just the way I want it here. And as always, it takes a minute. Hair is complicated. Especially the way I draw it. And as always, I just always find myself drawing hair for all eternity. But it always looks so good when it's done, so I can't stop. Okay. So something like that. And let's see, on this side, I think I want maybe a few dark spots just kind of roaming around here. And I don't mind if some of these things kind of get lost in each other. The back here is supposed to be less detailed than the front. Like, it's not technically going to get highlights. It's going to get some lighter areas. I'll go ahead and start painting those in now, I think. Wait, I missed a shadow I need right there. And then I think I want a little bit of shadow cast from the dress here. Same with here, really. Okay, there we go. Now I can do some of the lighter areas that I've been thinking of. Mostly just on the bottom, in places where I feel like the light hits very strongly. And I think it should help show the kind of curl that I'm picturing for all these bits of hair. So I'm just going to start with the basics. And then I'll make it look more hair-like once I'm happy. So that's looking pretty alright. It's got a few holes, but I'll fill those in briefly. And then we'll just get shapes like this. And this should light it very nicely from the magic circle there. I don't think here needs any. This is like strictly for the super, super bright areas. So the area is basically directly facing the light. Mostly the curls. Just to make them look a little bit more like they're curling, more or less. I didn't think what I had before was really selling all these little curls. And I'll even put a little bit on this one. Okay. But I think that's about all it needs. So I'll go ahead and I'll clean this up a little bit. Because this one is soft, I will not be cleaning it up as thoroughly as usual. So hopefully that means it just won't take as long. No, it'll probably take a little longer because, well, I mean, you can see what I'm planning based on what I did with the hair here. So it'll be a little bit softer. And then I can go in and add a few more strands. But this is exactly why I looked at the hair and I was like, there is no way I'm finishing this now. The last time I was working on this one. Okay, so let's see. This is where I kind of perfect all the shapes. Because with the way that I do things here, I don't normally do anything particularly special. I just kind of blur the edges a little bit here, so I want to make sure that everything is shaped very well. That everything is very lovely. All right. This one I feel like is a little bit long. You can see I am trying to vary up the lengths and the widths of each little strand of hair that I got going on here. So otherwise things get a little bit monotonous and boring. So I do like to make sure that everything is varied. Because hair is not very consistent. It does what it wants. It does whatever it wants. And so if the hair you draw is too, I don't know, uniform all the way across, it starts looking less like hair. I got an itch. So it stops looking quite as much like hair, and so if you want things to look really, really hair-like, you gotta add a lot of variation. It'll make it more interesting to look at, too. There are certainly places for highly structured patterns, but those are for things that are a little bit more inorganic and man-made. So, for example, quilts. Quilts tend to have very deliberate patterning on it. And they tend to be, you know, relatively uniform. Or stained glass windows. You know, those are very often actually completely symmetrical depending on the design on the window. But both of those things are man-made, and with quilts in particular, you can add a little bit of the more organic stuff by how you let the quilt fold and bunch up. Because that should look a little bit more natural, as opposed to just the shapes on it, which were deliberately put together by human sensibilities. So it all depends on what you're going for. Personally, I would love a nice excuse to draw something a little bit more symmetrical and structured. I think I might do that for my Inktober drawing tomorrow. The theme for that one was crown, so that seems like a perfect time to kind of do some stained glass imitation. Just do some fun patterns and stuff. Today was one of those days where I had a bit of a hard time getting started. Which is a shame, because I had a decent idea, and if I had more time to spend on it, I think it would have come out pretty good. But, well, that's not entirely true. It's like, it's not the kind of thing where I could fully realize this idea in like an hour or two. The time that I have for drawing every day. So if I was able to spend, you know, a couple of weeks on it, I probably could have done something kind of neat, but if it weren't for Inktober and having to draw something from the prompt list every day, I probably wouldn't have drawn it to begin with, so who knows. Just always wild to me that there are people out there that can make fairly decent drawings in like 10 minutes. I'm just like, God, I want to be able to do that. All right. I think before I continue, I'm gonna go ahead and just finish off this entire corner. I'm gonna go back over there. At least the shadows. I'm just doing the shadows right now. I'll do the highlights on the next pass. That's how I like to do things, because then I can just press X to switch back and forth between my two colors. And that's amazing, and I like being able to do that, so... I think this might also be one of the reasons I tend to use a fairly limited color palette. It's just easier to be able to hit X and get the color I need rather than having to wrangle like 5 different ones. I just realized that I didn't like the tips of these very much, so I'm fixing it. Gotta get everything nice. It'd be a shame to come this far and then get lazy here at the very end. I call it the very end, but I guess it doesn't really feel like the very end to me. So I still have not done the background. And that is... I have been really looking forward to that, so... I'm not going to be able to start it today. It is still not yet time. Because I have to finish her. I do think I will be able to do that today, at least. I have to finish her, and then I want to do the foreground, too. So all the bats and stuff. I got a couple of rocks in the foreground, but I think I've already finished them. Because they're just there being blurry. They might need a little bit more refinement, I'm not quite sure. I figured I'd look at it once I finished all this, but... For the most part, those rocks, they're just out there being blurry. They're not bothering anyone. So I'm not going to be doing a lot with them. Just kind of trying to get some of these cast shadows in there too. I wanted to make it clear that there's a little bit of distance between all of these, so I'm doing it like that. And this is from this frill here. Maybe it's a little bit too big. There we go, that's a little better. And then at the end of all this, I think I'm probably going to add another layer here and kind of fade it into the background. But I don't think I can do that until I've drawn a little bit more of the background. So that'll probably come a little bit later, because I want to make sure that I'm picking colors from the background to fade it properly. So that might not happen right away. That might happen a little bit later. It'll be the same for, like, parts of her dress. I want to fade that into the background a little bit, too. Just the back parts. Just the parts in the very, very back. And I think that kind of effect can look pretty good. Very simple, very easy, but has a surprisingly big impact. Those kinds of things are nice because it's like, it takes so little effort, but you get such a nice looking thing from it, even though it's so easy. Okay, so I think that's it for that side. Until I go and do the lights. Wait, no, I didn't do these ones. I guess I should do them before I head to the other side. Don't want to forget about these little friends. That would be so sad. It would be pretty sad. So some of these cast shadows I'm probably going to have to redraw, but that's fine. Maybe it's a sign I should draw them later, but this is okay. See, I've already erased one part of it. I'll just put it back. And it's that easy. Okay. See what else I want to do over here, but I think that's it. So there we go. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty all right. Should look really, really nice once I do the highlights. So I'll just head on over to this side. This side is even easier because like 90% of everything is just, oh hey, I have decided you are in the shadows. So be dark. And that's about all there is to it. Okay. Let's get back to this bottom part, because this is where most of the detail is. Okay, so then a little bit of dark from the dress here. I think that looks good. Okay. I think I'm just gonna put most of this in shadow, actually. There. Okay. Yep, like I said, nice and easy. Let's go to the lights. So this side will definitely be the harder side. I guess I will go ahead and do it first. I see I missed a spot. Gotta do something about that. Hello there, Technobot. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Alright, for this one I want to make sure there's a bit of a highlight separation between this strand and this strand to show that this one is sitting on top. I'm not actually sure if it makes sense for this one to be sitting on top, but you know what? It's easier to draw, so I'm gonna roll with it. Now I'm just kind of blending the highlight together with the shadow here. There we go, making sure everything looks nice and hair-like. And now it's just a matter of smoothing out the highlights here. And then I can go back and blend it all properly and make it all nice and soft. But anime hair, it never leaves me alone. Okay. There's just a lot of hair, as always. But I think that highlight is fine. Yeah, I don't think I need any more further up. So let's just smooth all this out. I actually kind of like this one being really tiny and weird, so I'm gonna leave it. And then over here. Over here. I will go and let's see. I think that this shadow part should be thicker. All the ones over here are kind of thin. And as I've been saying, I want to vary up the width and length of all these little spikes. It makes it more interesting and more hair-like. makes it look a little bit more natural. So I actually do want to make this one a little thicker. All the other ones are just much thinner. So it is time for a little bit more variation. And this spike I'll make pretty thin because the rest are a little bit thicker. Okay. So there we go. Oh, well, congrats. I guess it depends on your definition. I've been drawing on and off for probably a good 20 years. But I wasn't really consistent about it until, I want to say, like 3 years ago. So I mean, I've been going. Well, thank you. But yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I would draw pretty inconsistently. So I would often go like entire years without making anything. So that's why I'm never quite sure how to answer that question. Because I'm just like, I don't know, have I actually been drawing that long? Kind of not. But it's okay. I've been glad that I've been drawing more consistently lately. And my art definitely got a lot better once I actually started being more consistent about it all, instead of just drawn when I feel like. Just making it a point to actually go out and try to do something. Yeah. Okay. No. All right. It's okay. I am honored to be drawing background music. Sounds fantastic. Have fun. I'll just be here rendering hair because it's anime hair, and anime girls have like 50 pounds of hair at the minimum. So it always takes a while to go through it all. It does take a while to go through it all. It's like I've already finished most of it. I did it like at fairly early on in the process, but now I gotta get the rest. I gotta get all the hair blown around behind her. That part I did not do early. It is. It is. I remember when I was drawing more realistically for a while, and for reasons, I tried a more simplified anime look, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't have to care about their cheeks at all. It was like culture shock. Everything just felt so flat. It took me a little while to get used to. Okay. So yeah, I think that's all I needed there, so let's get these guys over here now. Fortunately, I think the stuff in this area already looks pretty alright, so I don't have that much to clean up. Nice. Always a nice surprise. Potentially. I think progress comes faster with realism than most people might realize. The main thing is just that the uncanny valley is real, and you kind of got to get used to that. I'd say it just comes differently. I had many a visit to the uncanny valley, so I got used to it. But for people interested in drawing realism or semi-realism, it's actually not that bad, and I don't think it's necessarily any slower. If anything, you might notice some progress faster because it forces you to learn certain things much sooner. Beautiful. I love creepy things, so I started having a pretty okay time there. I'm kind of glad to be out of it, though. I visit occasionally, but it's not normally intentional. Okay, just a few cast shadows from the hair there. And I think I just got one more little highlight here, but I think he actually already looks fine. So yeah, there we go. Let's blend this. Let's blend this. Okay. I'm just gonna grab the usual brush here and just, I don't know, paint over the edges a little. And then, like I said earlier, at some point, I will be kind of putting another layer on it and fading it into the background a little, but I want to know what the background will look like a little bit more before I do that. So that'll be like finishing touches for the very end. So this will stand out a bit more than it otherwise would until then. But trust me, it'll be fantastic once it gets there. I can already see it in my head. That's always one of the nice parts about painting, is just that I see something. And sometimes it takes me a little while to get it down to where everybody can see it, but it happens eventually. And then, suddenly, everyone will understand what's been going on in my head for like the past, I don't know, a really, really long time. And it's like, yes, I have been seeing this for so long, and now you can see it too. Art is great. I want to clean up this tip a little bit. There we go. Got a little bit over blended there. So I'm just kind of pulling the color around. It's very relaxing after doing the bigger parts of the cleanup. Because now I'm just kind of putting the finishing touches on everything that I've already done. And it's just nice and easy, and I can't turn off my brain. But I can just watch it all come together. It's very satisfying. Just push those little things right into where I think they should go. And being eternally grateful that this is the last bit of hair I have to do for this piece. I still have hair to do in the other one I'm doing on stream, but for this one, this is the final hair. And then I will be free. Free from hair until the next picture. Yes, I'm drawing 2 on stream. So this is the one I'm doing today, and then the other one I will be drawing again on Sunday. Drawing a different VTuber on different days. So I got 2 going on. Man. So much hair. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll go and get the sides before I go in. I keep starting in the center, but that's fine. As long as I hit all the hair. It doesn't really matter where I start. It's all good either way. So here, I definitely don't want to overblend these cast shadows. I think I'll get everything else around here first, before I go and get those cast shadows. Because they need to be a little bit more particular than what I do for just the rest of the hair texture. Because they kind of have to maintain their shape. The hair texture I can freely push and pull as I feel like, but cast shadows, they gotta look like the thing that's actually casting the shadow. Otherwise they will look wrong. And that would just be very unfortunate. And I swear, as I'm drawing the hair, I just see the castle in the background being like, hello again. Hello. Hello, you know you want to draw me, and I do want to draw you so much, Mr. Castle. But it is not yet time, and I must be patient. I tell myself this every time. Okay. So let's start smoothing out this guy a little. I have been looking forward to it so much, and oh man, past couple of weeks it's just been staring at me like, come on, you know you want me to exist. You know you want to draw me now, and it's true, I do. I really do. But I've been waiting until I finish the girl here and all the foreground elements, so that this way I know which areas will be covered up in front. And I know exactly where I will want to put it and all that good stuff. I think this is, what, episode 17? It should say in the stream title. Yeah, 17. And I work on it 3 times a week. So there you go. 3 times a week it's this picture. 2 times a week it's the other picture. And then 2 times a week it's a video game. I always work on the thing until it's done. And I stream the entire process, beginning to end. I do not work on these off-stream, ever. So the VODs for the entire process are up on the channel. I have them in a, you know, nice convenient playlist. And at the end, I turn it into a time-lapse. So you can watch the whole thing in like, you know, 10 minutes. Yeah. Hello there, Lager. And perhaps, but I don't know. I just like drawing things. And I like finishing my drawings. And sometimes I make things a little bit overly complex. Pretty well. I am on the last bit of hair. Soon I will be free. Yeah, and this is actually the last part of the character I have to draw. So I'll be able to finish off the lighting, and from there, I can finally start getting into, you know, like the foreground and background and all these other nice things that I've been looking forward to. Is it weird that I've also been really looking forward to drawing the clouds in the back there? The kind of ominous clouds. I feel like there's a lot to look forward to. Like, the character's definitely been fun to draw, but I have been looking forward to just doing everything else, too. It just has not been time. But soon it will be time. That'll be a good day. Phew. Alright, I think this is the last bit on this side. Did I get these guys yet? No, I did not. Let me see, did I miss any? I think it all looks pretty soft there. Maybe here isn't quite blended enough. I do want to make sure that everything is soft enough here, and that everything looks nice and blended out, but still strandy like hair. It's been a while since I've done a soft drawing, so I have to remember how much I actually like to blend things out. Yeah, that looks a little better. Nice and soft, but not smeared. That's the big thing I always worry about with using this brush, just that everything will start looking super smeared and bad. But this is looking pretty alright, I think. See, like, right here looks a little bit smeared to me, so I'm gonna try to clean that up a bit. Just push out that color, pull it back as necessary. All that good stuff. Gonna blend in these tips a little and just get everything looking nice and pretty. Ideally. And I just want to make sure that I finish this part before I move on to other parts. I guess I don't have to, but I want to, so that's good enough reason for me. And like here, I think that these are all looking fine. Maybe just clean up the edge very, very slightly here, but I am happy with its level of blendedness. Okay. Let's see, I think here still looks a little smeared, but the rest I think is looking about right. And maybe I should blend these guys just a little bit more here. Up. And some of this I think I'm going to have to go over with my airbrush. But that's all good. I'll just do all that at the end. No. There we go. Pulled a bit too low and ended up pulling some of the cast shadow into the highlights. Not a thing I want to be doing. Okay, there we go. That looks better. Now then, this little guy. Just a little area here. I gotta be careful about that cast shadow, though. It's, like, right in the way. Maybe I really should have just drawn all the cast shadows at the end. Oh well. It is gonna make certain parts a little bit harder to blend out like this. So I gotta be particular around him. And when I'm particular, I cannot be free and have just nice, lovely strokes going around. I'm gonna add just a few strokes here just to make it look like it's going into the hair a little bit more. There we go, that should be good. And then I just lightly brush around a lot of these guys there. Don't really have to do that much special. I do complain about hair a lot, but I do like drawing it. Fortunate since I do anime. And anime has a lot of hair, but I do like drawing it. It is very nice. It's just time consuming. Okay. I feel like this is almost a little bit too hair-like. There we go. That should be good. And then I'll probably just go over some of the details there with my airbrush. Alright, let's go over to this side. This side is going to be like super easy because most of it is just shadow and I don't have anything to blend. So that'll be sweet. That'll be nice and easy. And then I can just clean it up, add any further detail that I want, and there we go. That will be hair. Ooh, and then after hair, it's going to be lighting time. I've done a little bit of the lighting on the face because I wanted to make myself a good thumbnail. But now I get to finish it. And do all the, like, cool, spooky, red, bright lights. It'll be great. I have been looking forward to it for a pretty long time. But as with many things, it hasn't been time. But soon it will be time. I always like doing it at the end. Just when everything else is decided. It makes it easier to know where everything should be placed. The only reason I do anything at all in the beginning is just to check to make sure that I like the atmosphere. Because there's no point in getting deep into rendering if I don't know if I like the picture. Gotta figure out those compositional things first. Gotta figure those compositional things out first. And then another thing I've got to be careful about with this brush especially is I got to make sure that the hair follows the direction of the hair nicely. Because like if I did a stroke that way, it would look very weird. It's got to curve the exact right direction. Okay. Oh, there. Don't get too excited, hand. We gotta make sure that this is all blurred correctly. There we go. These I still want to keep separate, so I will definitely do that. All right. There's most of the bottom there. I'm just having to be careful around these last couple because they got cast shadows on them. So I want to make sure I don't disturb the cast shadows too much. Just gently, gently blend them together. Okay, and I think that should be pretty good. Alright, let's go over this one last time and clean up everything and make sure that there aren't super messy parts. Krita's wet brushes are great, but you gotta be careful with them, and I always tend to have a few areas that just don't feel quite right. And plus, then I can also just do a little bit of light brushing like this. And kind of get some additional lighting that way. Like here, it was a little bit too hairy. So I'm toning it back a little bit, but still leaving kind of some of the hairy effect. That kind of thing. Some things I feel like can only be done properly with the airbrush. But there we go. Let's get all that in there. I just kind of like to blend the tips a little bit. Put a little bit more of each color near the ends. I think it looks nice. And then other areas need a little bit of extra attention. But for the most part, it is just, I like putting in some extra color to blend out the tips. Alright, and like here, down here definitely needs a lot of extra attention. This poor cast shadow just out in the middle of everything and being so lost and confused. Needs a little bit of help being blended in properly, and it was just too hard to do with the wet brush. It's okay, airbrush is here to save the day. Alright. And I'm gonna tone back some of the hairiness here. Just a little, though. Just a little. Alright. So let's see, I don't think I completely finished up here. I should do that real quick. And yep, this cast shadow got a little bit broken up. Alright. I think that's about good for this side. Take a look, but yep, that's looking pretty good to me. So I'll go ahead and finish off this side. And that'll be it. And then I get to go play with lights, and I'm like, yay! Lights are just a good time. I feel like adding the dramatic lighting is just where everything starts to really come together. So, it's always a good day when it's time for that. Alright, I think that is it. And yep, that is looking pretty good to me. Let's see, I probably want a few, like, loose strands here and there. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm just gonna do it on a separate layer and grab some colors and just put a few extras in here since it's supposed to be blowing super chaotically. Just kind of have to decide how I want to do it. I feel like having the extra strands when the style is very soft is appropriate. It just brings everything together, I think. But this is also why I'm doing it on a separate layer, because I don't want to mess up everything I just did. That would just be unfortunate, so... This way I can zoom in and take back any ones that just look kind of ugly. And I'm keeping them very, very thin. So I'm barely pressing on my brush at all here. I really, really do not want them to be super thick. Okay, and that should be good, I think. I don't think it needs any more. This is looking pretty hair-like to me, so... Well... No, over here needs a few more. Let's really make this turn. Let's really just make this go everywhere. Okay, I think that's better. Alright, and I do think a few of them needed a little bit of extra shadow, so I'll brush that in real quick, but it's not going to be that much. Just running around at 100% zoom and making sure that everything is lit the way that I want, and yes, indeed. Okay, so she is drawn. Let us put the lights on. Or more accurately, turn the lights off. Okay. So I have like, I don't know, maybe a third of this done. And this is where I start getting in the lighting for the moon. I've been saying for a while that my light source, it was in fact not the moon, it was the magic circle at the bottom. So this is where I start taking into account the light from the moon, and I did not mean to click there. Whoops. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put the dark stuff here. This is literally just a layer set to multiply and purple. So this is just purple. And then to get the lighter areas, I don't draw with the lighter color or anything. I just erase the purple. So I'm just painting over the lower part right now because I haven't really done anything there. I've done her head mostly and her arm mostly, but the lower parts was all just placeholder to make sure that I approved of the atmosphere and stuff. So I just wanted to paint over the whole thing again. And now I can start taking away the areas that I feel like should be lit by the moon or should be more strongly lit by the magic circle. So this is like a final lighting stuff. And I'm just going back over her face to make sure I like everything. The face is the most important part after all. If the face looks bad, everything's just gonna look bad. So I think most of the hair is gonna be pretty strongly lit by the moon here, so I am taking it back and pretty much all of it. It'll be... I'll push it into the background via some additional shading later. Just lower the contrast between it and the background, and that'll push it back. But for now, I just kind of want to focus on the moon, and to a lesser extent, the magic circle. And that's actually a good thing to pay attention to in your own drawings, of just... when you're trying to think of how to light things, just remember that the areas of highest contrast, so basically the lightest areas for the most part, that's going to be what people's eyes are drawn to. So you should make the areas of the highest contrast the areas that you want people to look. So for me, that is mostly going to be the face. Especially if you are drawing the anime, realism is secondary. But I do have a big light source down here, and I want it to look bright and powerful. So I'm still putting a pretty good deal of light down here. Right now, everything just looks a bit dark, like around her legs. Even though I don't want to emphasize the legs or anything, I'm still lighting it just a little bit. Because otherwise, it'll make the magic circle look dim and not powerful at all. And that would just be sad. So down here still gets a little bit of attention. Okay. So for the moon, I'm largely making sure that the things around the rim of her are a little bit lighter. So just a good old rim lighting. Because that is where the moon will shine the strongest. So that's why I'm getting her shoulders here. And back here a little. Here, probably not so much. Just because her arm is also going behind her, but I do think a little bit shows. And for this drawing, I'm not doing just a perfectly hard edge for my shading, so I have a little bit of opacity and granularity I could be applying to it. It's very convenient. So I keep that in mind as I go all the way through. And I'm just softening up a few areas. I thought that they were just a little bit harsh. I want it to be a little harsh. But I think a lot of the harshness that I want to put in will come in via the actual, like, lights. As opposed to just these little shadows that I'm doing right now. Okay, and I do think that most of her hair, not all of it, but a good chunk of it, is gonna be lit here. It's gonna be less so on the areas covered by the dress, but I think that this area in particular that I'm poking at now needs a little bit of stuff, just due to the magic circle. I think it'll be too dark feeling if I just leave it completely in shadow. So that's why I'm kind of brightening up some stuff down here. Oh man, and I can finally, like, finish off her neck and stuff. I hadn't done that yet. Alright. There we go. So let's see. Is there anywhere else that I think I need to pull back the lighting a little? Probably some stuff through here. All of this will definitely be very, very bright because of the moon. So let's just light it all up. There we go. Oh, thank you. Yes, now it is just time for all the lighting. Oh, congrats. How'd it go? Okay, let's see. Is there anywhere else that I kinda... on her upper body that I feel like I have to adjust a little? Maybe right here on the shoulder, just a touch. It's a little harsh. I want it to be a little softer. I don't want her skin to look too hard. Then maybe just a little bit right around here. Okay. Yeah. But I think everything else looks pretty alright, at least until I add proper lights. I'm still looking forward to that. So now... lower body time. So I definitely want a lot of stuff around here to be lit fairly bright. There I was just kind of blending out the dark parts that I did put in. But I knew that I was probably going to have to erase them. I just thought it looked a bit strange for the time being, so I wanted to kind of fix that up. So here's lit by the magic circle. Around here will be lit by the moon. Okay, and there we go. I think that is all correct. So now it's time for the really fun part, where we get the bright lights. Okay! So this is gonna be interesting, because I'm pretty sure I can't do all of this with one color. Like, with the shadows, I could do all that with purple just fine. But I think this needs a little bit of extra care, so I might need multiple layers here. I'm just thinking about how I want to go about this. Okay, I'm just going to grab the color here. Because this color does work pretty well for a few of them, just not all of it. And then I'm going to clear it. Did this color work well for the hair? It's a little bit bright for the hair. Did it work well for the skin? Because, I mean, a lot of this was compromising just all over the place. So I think I'm going to pick a color for the hair specifically. And I already have the hair in a group. So I'm just going to do that lighting part here. Okay, so I'm gonna drop a little bit down and pick a color. This will not include the back hair, unfortunately. I will have to do that separately, but this will make it easy for this part. So I'll just kind of brush a little bit in here, and then I will decide what color it should be. So I just felt like this was a little bit saturated and maybe just a little bit too pink. Oh yeah. It's very exciting. I have been looking forward to this part. Just kind of deciding what color I want here. It's always a tough choice. But I kind of think I want it in the realms of red. So right now I have my hue saturation window open. Unfortunately, OBS does not capture it. But I'm just kind of messing with the hue saturation lightness here in order to find an effect that I like. And I'm debating which way it should go, what color it should be. It's probably easiest to notice when I mess with the hue, but like this is a bit too yellow. The moon in the background is red, and this is supposed to be the lighting from the moon. So that's where I kind of want it in the realms of red and pink. But it's a tough choice. Maybe the secret is that I don't want it on color dodge. Maybe the secret is I want it on add instead. It gives it a little bit of a different kind of feel. No, I think color dodge did look better. Okay. Never mind. Okay, I think somewhere around there should look pretty good, so let's grab that color. Kind of a dusty orange, it looks like. And now I will shade in the parts that I feel like the moonlight is hitting the hardest. And I'll probably add a little bit to her eyes at some point still. But before, I was just kind of getting rid of the spots that I thought wouldn't have very many shadows. But now I'm actually paying attention to the lights themselves. So this is specifically for areas that I think are getting hit hard by the light. And specifically in the hair. Some of this is going to have to be pulled back, and I'm not sure why up there is so much redder than the rest of it. Pretty much just the moon for this part. With the shadows, I was keeping account the stuff from the magic circle at the bottom here, but for this is pretty much just for the moon. Maybe that was my complaint. Where it's too bright here, and then... Because the color that I want is closer to up there, so... I'll just take back the higher parts. I'm gonna just really pay attention to the rest of the hair here. Until it is like a proper brightness for everything I want. This is a little bit too cool, so I'd need to warm it up just a little. The areas I'm looking would be like around here and like this strand here. And I'm not worried about just how freaking loud it is in the shadows. Those will be corrected at some point. I'm not familiar with Drawbox. I am doing Inktober again this year. I did it last year as well. But I am interested in trying some more art challenges at some point. I wish I could make this just a little bit redder, but when I bring it over more toward the reds, it doesn't look right. So maybe I should just embrace the yellow. Okay, let's try embracing the yellow. What do you do for Drawbox? Okay, yeah, this is workable. So we're just gonna make her hair glow here. I love this part, though. This part is just always so much fun. This is just where, like, everything starts to sing, and it is fantastic. Okay, then for these parts specifically, I want to tone it back just a little, just so it's not quite so loud. Ah, I see. Oh, that kind of thing. I don't know. I feel like I can draw boxes well enough at this point that I probably don't need to do specific challenges for them. The kind of stuff that I'm more interested in is just, super dumb stuff, like drawing with your left hand or, style challenges or that kind of thing. But those I'd like to do more of. I just haven't... I've been thinking about, trying to do some of them on stream occasionally. But I just haven't had good ideas. So... hopefully stuff like that will come, but for now I've just been wanting to do full illustrations. Because I do like drawing some pretty pictures. Okay, so I think that's good for that. Unfortunately, I cannot sit down and draw for 12 hours straight right now. I have kids, so I can't do that. But I would honestly not be particularly bothered by doing so at this point of my life. I don't actually find that hands that difficult to draw anymore. Like, if I'm doing just some really freaking weird hand pose that does, like, all the things, then yeah, sure, I generally have some trouble. But if I just need to draw a hand, like, it's all good. Like, I guess this one was a little bit weird, but even then, once I broke it down, it came together pretty quickly. It does. Don't worry, you'll get there too. It just takes some time. But I don't know, I don't do a lot of studies on specific parts. I like to draw things. And so, I just draw the things I want to draw. And then, if I'm drawing something that's hard, I just flail at it until I like the way it looks. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, at least for me, the way I see it, that there's always a reason people want to learn how to draw. There's something out there that they want to make. And... like, practice, yeah, it's good, it's important. Definitely do it when you want to. But I think just going through and making the things you want to make, and just being like, I need to do this. I want to do this. For me, it's been a lot of weird foreshortening. And that's kind of what I've been struggling with lately. So I want to work on my body perspective and stuff a little bit. And I'm just like, yes, okay, I want to do the weird foreshortening stuff. So I better learn this thing. So that this way I can draw the things I want to draw. And I think focusing on things just beyond that. Not always necessary. It's like, if you feel like studying, you just want to. You can't go wrong with fundamentals, of course. But, I do think that actually just going out and making the things you want to make is by far the best way to learn how to draw. Because then you, like, have a reason to suffer, and it becomes so much easier. Indeed. It is. So, that's why I always say, just draw what makes you happy. Don't worry, it's at some point, you'll be short on ideas. But still kind of want to make stuff. And that is the perfect time to just do some studies. Just be like, you know, on the last picture I wanted to do this thing, but I couldn't do it. So I had to do something else. Let's see if I can do it now. And figure out how to make it work. Or what do I need to learn in order to do the things that maybe I want to do but feel too hard. Or what kind of thing have I been wanting to try, or that I tried to do in my last drawing, but was absolutely painful. And that's what you can study. At least that's, I don't know. I think it can be easy to get trapped in a mindset of self-improvement rather than, oh hey, I learned to draw because there were actually things I wanted to draw. There were things I wanted to make. So this is why I've been struggling to find art communities I've been interested in, because they're so focused on the self-improvement aspect, and until relatively recently, I was actually pretty happy with where my art was at, and I wasn't super interested in doing a lot of the improvement grind anymore, so I say until recently because suddenly I am at a point where I cannot do the things that I want to do, but that's mostly just because I'm too slow. So for me, it's more about speed. Alright, let's do some pretty colors and lighting on the face now. Where are you, face? Okay, here we are. This not the right spot? Or are you just a bad color for this? Oh no, I have you set to erase, that's why. Oh, yeah. It's okay, I was the same way. That's why I said I drew off and on for a really long time. It's okay, even if it still doesn't quite work out this time, you'll be a little bit further. And then the next time you decide to pick it up, you'll be a little bit further still. But yeah, hopefully it just doesn't stop. That's why I'm just like, let's make the things that are worth making. The world needs more cool things. So let's go make some cool things. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is going to be the color I want for the tiara. It might need a different one. Yeah, it's definitely going to need a different one. Will you look better on ad? I think so, actually. Alright. Time to pick the color for this guy. Probably a little bit more in the realms of pinks. It's okay, I knew that I would need a separate color for all the clothes and stuff. In fact, you know what? Rather than do a tiara here, maybe I should just go do the clothes here. Might make it easier to find the right color for the tiara since these are the same color. Alright, let's plop down some colors for now. And then I'll find the one that is right. Because it's definitely not this. Huh. Back hair is in the dress layer? my dress group? It isn't. So why are you showing up on back hair? Because you are, right? Oh no, you're not. I'm silly. Okay. We're good. I got myself confused for a second there. Okay. So I'm just gonna plop down some color and I guess now's a good time to start picking proper. Because I got a few spots that are definitely in there over here. So let's see. Bring you more toward the pinks and reds. A little bit deeper, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. I just don't want it to be too cold. I want it to be warm, but not like searing hot or like white. So I'm trying to find that balance there. But unfortunately, this is just one of those things that I just kind of intuit, so... I'll just be messing with the hue saturation sliders until I'm satisfied. Okay, I think right there's pretty good. Do I like you better in color dodge? I think I do, actually. Okay. Again, another thing I just kind of intuit. Color dodge tends to have... I don't know, a brighter... slightly more full colors. As opposed to addition. Which... no, add is better. So you can see in this case it's like brighter. It brings it a little bit more toward white. Versus here, which makes the colors super, super saturated. And I guess it's just more appropriate here. Anyway, I better get my color. There we go. Okay. So now I'm just gonna go through and paint the rim light, basically. So this is, again, mostly lighting from the moon. And I still might need a little bit more light in the hair, just certain areas. And some areas might actually need a little bit less, so I might go poke at that a little again. It's okay, lighting is an adventure. That's the time when I just go through and really perfect the mood. Get the lights exactly where they should all be. They should definitely not be right there, but there should be a fair amount through this area, just not right there. Right there is like all shadow all the time. Rim light is fun though. It is such a good time. Some of these areas I might even want to be a little bit brighter. So maybe I'll add a second layer here at some point and just really brighten up certain areas. We'll see. We'll see what I feel like it needs. But I really do feel like this is the point of the process where it just starts to sing for me. That's when I know things are good. When I can just feel it in the picture. I can only describe it as singing. What are you? So this extra layer that I had, can I bring you up into here? Yes, you did that. This does not appear to affect anything. Okay, cool. Not intentionally. No. I am basically not up to date on any kind of media, so it has been a very long time since I've been able to regularly interact with anything. There we go. Had a little bit overlapping her chest there, and that was definitely no good. Probably why I had it all in the back in the first place, but here we are. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. It wasn't working for the lighting, so I had to move it up here. There we go. Oh, and I didn't realize that I had you looking kind of bad. Let's fix that. There we go. Okay, back to lights. Back to fun light time. I am on the wrong layer, aren't I? I am. I better not do that. Okay. Let's see, where was I? Okay, so here is good. Alrighty. Let's draw on the correct layer this time. That seems like a good idea. It can be kind of terrible, but it's alright. I can fix it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna casually relight everything. I actually do think I want most of the frills to be super bright, but I think that they are very much in the light there. And I did put a little bit of light in her eyes. It doesn't make sense, but it looks cool, so it doesn't matter. Looking cool is way more important than making sense. True. Absolutely. Alright, and I think I've gotten most of the dress on that side there. I think that's pretty good. Like I said, maybe there's a few spots I want to be a little bit brighter. But honestly, in the dress, no, not really. I think that's about right. It's mostly in the hair. Because backlighting, you can do a lot of cool things with a backlight and hair. So certain parts of this, I feel like it's just a little bit too uniform in color. So I might darken a few spots. But first, I'll go ahead and do the first pass for everything else. And then I can worry about a second pass for hair. So let's say this one has less, like, a dress blocking it, so it gets a little bit more light than this side did. I do think that this side might need a little bit more just right here, but... that's about the extent of it. So now, let's see here. Okay, yeah, I think that's about right. Man, look at her glow. It is fantastic. I am happy. I am. Probably get her legs next. Just because I think that's going to have a pretty considerable amount of glow on it, too. Get a little bit just on this side. I don't think this side is going to get any, but I think this side, on this weird black thing, gets a little bit. Okay, I'll have to fix this so it doesn't look like her armpits are on fire, but the idea is solid. It just needs to be toned back a little. Kind of the same with a lot of stuff back there. That'll be for when I zoom in and do a little bit of cleanup. So I think the dress is going to need a lot of that. Anyway, before I do any of that, let's do legs. I think I can just use this color, so I will. Because it's behind her. It's coming from behind her. This is just the magic of rim light. Maybe I can't use that color. Yeah, it's too orange. Okay. Well, let me get what I have here. Just like there's going to be a little bit of light showing on over here on this leg. Even though it's kind of technically behind there. Okay. But yeah, if you ever want to see the magic of rim light in real life, I mean, I guess you could just look for up photo references of it, but what I'm thinking of is just standing somewhere with the sun directly behind you, and then taking a picture. Just, especially if it's like sunrise, you know, those places that give really long shadows, that kind of thing. So in this case, I got the moon going. It's like heavily exaggerated light, but it looks cool, so it's fine. Okay, so let's get a good color for the legs here. Let's see, I think that's a little bit too cool, but that's pretty good. Okay. So next will be the body area. Okay, I guess I am gonna have to put the back hair in a group, just because I don't want this next bit to be showing on that. And so I guess I'll have to put these all in a group too. Okay. Because yeah, I don't want the light that I put here to be affecting the back hair. So let's see, I did some on her head already, so I need that color. Okay. Let's see here. Where was I? Right here. Perfect. Okay. This may not actually be a super great color for this. I want it to be... Yeah, I do want it to be a little different, don't I? Okay, I will fix it on the head too. Let us pick a better color. Or maybe I just don't want it to be color dodged. Does it look better on ad? No, it definitely does not. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want the brighter color. Okay, even if I make it really dark and really bright, I don't get anything. Okay, so that's just the way her skin is. I guess that's fine. Maybe I'll add a hard light layer to bring some color in. But I'll just do this for now. Alright. Arm. I think I can just use the clothing color here. I had that on ad, so I'll do that there. Since the skin light is so... I don't know, it's gonna be like white no matter what I do. So let me get that color. A little bit redder than the other ones. So sometimes I'm able to do this with just one lighting layer, but sometimes I'm not, and this is one where I was not. And these frills are in a different group, so I'm just gonna have to go back in and fix that. But that'll be fine. That'll just be for later. Actually, it'll be like literally next, so not that much later. Okay. This will be interesting because it's all frilly. So some of the frills will still catch a little bit of light here. There we go. Something like that. Alright, did I get all of her? I don't think I properly did the neck. I think I went over it, but I didn't actually hit that spot the way I should have, so let's do that again. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is going somewhere. Alright, so let's just fix those areas that I've been looking at. And then I'll go back and actually, like, clean everything. So I just kind of wanted a little bit more texture back here. Right now it's a little bit boring. And this is one of those things, maybe doesn't necessarily make sense, but it should make things look a little bit nicer, so I'm rolling with it. Okay, and then just some of these areas that I feel like should be super duper bright and happy. Okay, so like here. That is like the worst orange I have ever seen. Holy cow. It's the color I need, apparently, but man. I'm surprised it works as well as it does. So this one I'm going to be a bit more sparing with. But there were just a few spots that I thought needed a little bit more glow into them. Look, I don't doubt the power of my HSV. Actually seeing what it looks like. But sometimes when I see the color that I actually end up picking, I'm just like, man. Oh, I wouldn't call this color theory. This is just, I saw what it looked like when I had the blend mode. And it looked good. So I was like, okay, that's the one. Okay. There we go. I do worry about some of this being bright, but I think it'll be fine when I take it back a little. I guess I can do some science. Let me just make sure. These colors are probably going to change, but take it back just a little. Yeah, it'll be something like that. That's a bit too strong, but especially in the lighter areas, but that's what I have planned, and I think this actually works. Yes, color suggestion. Let me put a little bit less back there. So I gotta be careful with this. Okay. Works for me. Alright, and I also realized that I forgot to do the tiara. So I should do that. Where's my dress light? And where's my tiara? There we are. Okay, let's give you a proper color. So that this way you can look nice and well lit too. And this might get some extra lights. I mean, when I look at this looks matte and not shiny. So it probably doesn't need that many lights, but it feels a little bit wrong in ways that are difficult to describe. That'll probably just end up being one of those things where I just do a little something like this. I don't know why I'm going into detail on this suddenly, but I am, and I think it's fine, so I guess I'll just finish. There we go. I think that's about all it needs. I still kind of want a little bit more contrast in her face. Thank you. I am just still finding myself slightly unsatisfied there. Let's go back to hair light. I have a few thoughts on how to get it, so let's see what I can do. Okay, and I also kind of want to go to the dark layer and put in just like something resembling hair highlights here. Oh, I have my swatch off. Let's get that back. And just get a little bit more interesting stuff going here. Let's see. Maybe I want just a little bit more dark around the face. Let's see, do I want dark or light? Let's find out. Maybe just a little bit of dark around the cheeks here. Because that's the thing about contrast. It's not just about the lights, it's also about the darks. In fact, the darks tend to be more responsible for everything. Okay, not bad. Let's lessen that just a little. I think it helped. But this bang here, it needs something. Okay, I guess I cheat then. If I feel like it needs something, then I guess it gets to be a little bit lighter here. The intuition is more important than the reality. Yes or no? No. No. Okay. What do you need? What is bothering me about you? Why is it like you specifically? Was it just too much? Did I make it too thick? That looks better, actually. Okay, that might be it. It's like I'm not entirely wrong, but I'm not entirely right here. So that's why it's the face. You don't mess around with the face. The face is the most important. So it's like when I feel like something's off there, I gotta poke at it until it is like exactly the way it should be. And anything less is not good enough. But yeah, that's better. Okay. And then maybe just a little bit less on the bottom of the nose here. Yeah, she looks pretty suspicious. I think I can be happy with that. Okay, let's go in and smooth that out now. And just get just the right amount of the dark in there. So I don't want it to be like 100% light. Just maybe like 60 or 70% light. Hair can be a little bit lighter though. Okay, so I'm gonna tone this back and kind of clean up my edge here. It's a little bit messy, as you might expect from painting while very much zoomed out. Okay, there we go. That looks a little better. Definitely very suspicious. I'm pleased. Okay. So I think hair is looking good now. It looks very bright. So let's go and do some of the stuff on the clothes here. I need to clean that up. I guess I'll do the arm while I'm here. Get my color again. I should probably just make a swatch for this, honestly, but oh well. I didn't. Kind of want to clean this up a little, get the parts that need the brightness, make sure it actually has it. And I can see that I need to do a little bit more to blend it up there too. Make sure I'm following the shapes of the folds and stuff that I put in. All that good stuff. But for the most part, I think it looks pretty okay, so... Okay, and here, I'm gonna tone this back just a little. I don't want this part to be super noticeable, I just want it to be lit properly so it's not distracting. Okay. Now I can make sure that this frill is lit properly. There we go. Make sure it's all blended right. And that it doesn't look unnatural like it did before. And I guess I just go back and forth until I'm happy. It's all about being happy with it. I want a little bit more there, actually a lot more there, so there we go. Please be on fire. Thank you. I appreciate it. Want to tone it back a little on the hand, but otherwise, yes. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I think the arm looks okay there, so... Back down to the clothes themselves. Here we are. Let's make her armpit no longer on fire. Here we go. And would you look at that? The fires have been put out. What you were curious about what I was gonna do with this area? Not that much. But I just needed to pull the light back a little bit. Like, it needs to be there. It won't look right if it's not. But it doesn't have to be quite that hot. Let me see. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now I kind of round this out. I want this to be pretty smooth. Just because it is the unnatural anime cup with no folds on the chest at all. So it needs to be smooth in order to follow the same logic. Okay. Then I just need to get the back here and just kind of lightly blending and modulating all that. I think I'm actually going to get my blur tool a little, and there's like a spot right there that's not blending. There we go. Okay, and same on the other side. Same on the other side. I just want to get that nice and smooth, and then I can worry about all the dress parts back here. A little bit too hot. I am from outer space. I am from outer space. Close enough indeed. Like, I gotta tell you, the sky is always beautiful. So outer space is a great place to be. Alright, so... there we go, kind of toting this back a little bit. I do want it to be well lit, but I don't want it to be distracting from more important points. So I don't want it to be, like, on fire. There we go. Yeah, I'd say that's looking pretty good. Got rid of all of those points that were just a little bit too bright. Happy with hair. Okay, let's go fix up these last spots here. And then I want to do just a little bit more with the skin, but that should be the last thing I gotta do for lighting here. So it's almost there. Ah, I love lighting. It's so much fun. It is, like, one of my favorite parts. A lot of the time I don't actually do it until closer to the end, once I have, like, the background and stuff done, but whatever, I wanted to do it right now, because it'll help me figure out the atmosphere of the background here. So it's fine. I can do what I want. Alright, once again, just gonna make this a little bit less on fire. Okay. Oh yeah, I never got her necklace. I should do that. Okay, so that's part of the clothes layer. Is it? It is, right? Because that's here. And that's here. And that is indeed part of this. So why are you not showing up? Oh, because I'm on eraser mode. Duh. There we go. Oh, that's better. This part can be on fire. This is near her face. It can be a little bit on fire. Maybe not too on fire, but a little bit. A little bit is healthy. A little bit is good for its self-esteem. Okay. And no, I don't think the gem should have any, but there we go. I think that's fine. Maybe just a little bit louder right here. And there, I think I will blur that rather than try to blend it. Sometimes just a little bit easier. You just got to be careful with it. It's powerful tech. It can break so many things. Okay, there we go. Okay, now then... Dress and legs, I think both look okay. Does dress need just... a little bit here? A little bit here. And clean up black part. Okay. And this side I don't think should get very much, but I wanted to have a little just cuz. I'm sure there's a reason, I just don't know it consciously. And this part I want it to be a little bit of a harder rim, so I need to take a lot of this back out. There we go. Okay, that's better. This is cheating a little bit because I'm using the light of the magic circle, but as opposed to strictly the moon like I am for everything else, but shh, no one will notice. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. Let's see if I can get that last little bit with just the skin. Okay, so this time I'm actually just gonna use hard light and like a literal kind of bright red pinkish thing. I get the feeling this will not be the right color, but nonetheless, I just want a little bit of color in there. This is just for the head. I will do the other skin parts separately. And then just for the sake of color picking, I'm gonna make sure that I have the color right there. So that'll be erased, don't worry. There we go, right about there. But I wanted to make sure I had the color at a proper 100% opacity. So that this way I didn't pick a slightly gradated color and get the wrong one. Okay, so this should make the light feel a little bit brighter. A little bit... I don't know, better, I guess. So this way I actually get some color in there instead of just raw, light white. Okay. Where's my hand? There's my hand. I don't want to go overboard on it, though. Because it will make things just a little bit darker. There's a reason that that color was the one that came up. Okay, where's the arm? I can put it here. No, this isn't dark. This is red. And then just to make sure I don't lose this color, I'm actually going to stick it on my swatch. Put it next to that one. Because this one will be easier to lose. Anyway, back to where I was. Down here. Just a little bit of color here. Actually, I probably should just do it like this, huh? This looks way better than whatever I was trying to do before. Okay. We'll revisit the other two and just do it more of the saturated color at the edge of the... at the edge of the shadow. It looks way better. Okay. This is something that I see a lot of other people do, but I have had mixed success in doing it myself. But here it looks fantastic, so let's go do it everywhere. Where are you? There you are. So in that case, I actually want it here. And a little bit here. And a little bit here. Yes. Very yes, I think. I knew that some color was missing. I was just wrong on where it needed to be placed. There we go. Oh, that is so much better. I'm so happy. No, I just gotta get it to be the, like, right amount of red in exactly the right place. So I'll go back and forth between my brush and my eraser a little bit. Krita's nice in that you can turn any brush into an eraser, so... I like the airbrush as an eraser, too. Yeah, you just can't let it be too hot. That's why I wanted to put it in my swatch, because I knew all of this would be at fairly low opacity. And I'm like, if I don't put it in the swatch now, I'm gonna lose it forever. Okay, so that one's the good one. Where's the hand? There you are. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Oh yeah. Put a little bit through the knuckles here. I think that this bit in the light here could actually be even redder. Yes, yes it can. Maybe not that red, but redder than it was. I think that's pretty good though. Alright, let's do the shoulders now. Neck too. Just all of these spots. I actually think the arm is not in this group, so I'll have to go find where he is. Okay. Blend it out a little. I guess I'll do one little area at a time. I'll just do the shoulder here first. And move from there as I feel is necessary. Okay, let's do the neck. I think the neck will look pretty good with a little bit of red in there. A little bit more. Just right there. Right against the little core shadow there. There we go. I guess I have decided to go down here now. So here we are. I am here. And I think it's about there. Yeah, I think this is the last little lighting thing that I need to do. And then the character is done, unless I want to make any, like, further changes to blend things into the background later. Actually, no, there's a little bit in the arm I still have to do. That's right, I have to find the rest of the arm. I know where it is, though. I just forgot to do it when I was on that group before. Okay. Now, armpit area. Armpit, back to being on fire. It can be a little on fire. That is acceptable to me. Oh man, that looks so shiny. I love it. Backlighting is cool. Okay. Now then. Out back to the arm layer. Where was I? Here we are. I did not paint a little bit right here. And that was it. I might want a little bit more red on her head, actually. Let's see, I think this is fine. I'm just seeing if I feel like any parts of the dress need a little bit more color. Let's science. I just want to test it and see what it looks like. There's only a couple of spots that I feel like need it. Oh, you're like, oh, because I have on my eraser still. Ooh. Okay, I dig it. I'ma keep it. There's only a few spots that I feel like need the extra color here, though. There aren't very many. Just for whatever reason, the lights in these areas felt very white. So I wanted to just add a little bit of color here and there. And then maybe here as well. Okay, but I think that's about it. And then I wanted to revisit the face. Just right here. I don't feel like she is glowing enough. I want to make it look like she is glowing in that moonlight, man. That's looking pretty good. I wonder if the reason is because I technically have you below the light. Will you look better above it? No, get out of the group. There you go. Unironically, yes. Okay. Note to self for the future. When you do stuff like this, put it above the light layer. It works better. I just gotta get the right thickness here. It's, I am having trouble pinpointing the exact location I want it to be in. But I think here is looking better. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I think that's pretty good. And there we go. Let's turn on the foreground. And yeah, I don't have to turn on the other light layers for once. Let's watch this one. Okay. So yeah, I think she's about done here. So next time I'll do all my foreground elements and I can finally draw some bats. That'll be pretty great. And finish off the fog and get all that looking right. And from there, maybe someday, I will finally start the background like I've been wanting to for a long time. I am looking forward to that. But I think that this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.